So let me start today with this. 2020's been a crazy year, right? We can all agree we've seen a lot of things that we wouldn't usually see. A pandemic hurting the whole world. Monoliths appearing everywhere and for no reason. We don't know where they came from. Len Casper going from the Cubs booth to the White Sox. All of those things are very unprecedented. All of them fit what 2020 means. This next piece of news, though, may also fit it, and fit it in a much better way. Let me give you some background here. Last week, the Cubs decided they would non-tender Kyle Schwarber a contract. They had a chance to give him $9 million for next season. They said, no, we'll release him, make him a free agent. Maybe he could go elsewhere and improve his production. Go to the American League, be a DH, who knows? At the surface, it looked fair. Let the guy go. We don't know what we're going to do with him in 2021. He may not have playing time. Give him a chance to test the market. Now, Cubs fans in response weren't happy about the move. They took to social media very quickly and said, we'll miss you, you legend. Let me repeat that. Cubs fans were very mad about the move. They said Kyle Schwarber is a Cubs legend. That does add to the 2020 script. Did anyone have that on their bingo card? You know my feelings about Kyle Schwarber. If you listen to this show, if you watch my videos, you know. He had a couple of good years, 2016, valiant comeback, I'll give him that. But he's not a Cubs legend. He's done nothing to prove to anybody that he even deserves to be in baseball. The guy was demoted to AAA a couple of years ago. Did we forget about that? Why people are calling him a legend is the epitome of 2020. It's the epitome of the delusion of Cubs fans. I'll admit, what he did in 2016, tearing his ACL, rehabbing all season, coming back specifically for the World Series, that's unbelievable. Give him all the credit in the world for that. Team player, great job. But what did he do after that? What did he do after 2016? 2015, great rookie year. 16, made the comeback. 17, 18, 19, 20, what did he do? The answer is nothing. He did nothing for this team. And it's funny because I've seen sabermetric people even say Kyle Schwarber's not a bad player. Really? His career WAR is 5. I've seen people say he's a 5 WAR player. Yeah, in his career, not per year. Schwarber's rookie year was commendable. 130 OPS plus, 16 homers, 69 games. Everyone thought he'd be the next big thing, including me. Thought he'd be a good player. 16, hurts himself, whatever. 17, 211 average, 30 home runs, 129 games. 2018, 238, 26 homers. 2019, 250, 38 homers. This past year, 188, 11 homers. In that time, he was demoted to AAA. He couldn't hit the baseball. His average was under 200. And Joe Maddon said, you're not helping us here. Go down to AAA. Get some reps and reinvent your swing because it's not working. You know, it's funny. I can't think of a Cubs legend, a real one, who was ever demoted to AAA for being a bad player. Weird. How about this? I'm going to read off this list to you of true Cubs legends. You tell me who the outlier is. Ron Santo, Billy Williams, Ernie Banks, Greg Maddux, Fergie Jenkins, Kyle Schwarber. Who's the outlier? Who deserves to be there and who doesn't? The obvious answer is Kyle Schwarber. See, this is recency bias. Cubs fans don't remember the history and the story of this franchise. It's one of the most historical franchises in baseball and North American sports. And instead, we have fans fixating on Kyle Schwarber, who at best is a 30 home run guy who hits 220. Big deal. Give me a break. Think about what the definition is of a legend. Longevity, great production, meant a lot to his team. How much did Kyle Schwarber mean to the Cubs? Even during the year they won the World Series, was he the most important player on that team? No. Ben Zobrist was. Bryant won the MVP. Rizzo had a great year. Lester, the pitching staff in general, all of those guys I would give you. Kyle Schwarber, I wouldn't. So why is it that people think he's a legend? Why are we commending Kyle Schwarber for having a couple of good years in a Cubs uniform and that's it? By that logic, everyone's a legend. Jerome Walton, he isn't a bust anymore. He's a legend. He won Rookie of the Year with the Cubs and hit .293. Let's see, Mark Pryor's a legend for going to the NLCS in 2003. He almost won the Cy Young. Anyone else? Could we name anyone else? Giovanni Soto. He won Rookie of the Year in 08. He's a legend. What are we doing? Why are we preemptively giving out the legend title to players who don't deserve it? Why are we rewarding those who had a couple of good years and never really had the longevity in a Cubs uniform? How insulting is it to Ernie Banks, Fergie Jenkins, to be listed next to Kyle Schwarber? Come on now. Those guys are bona fide Hall of Famers. They did the majority of their production in Cubs uniforms. Banks did all of it in a Cubs uniform. 500 home runs. You're going to tell me, by your logic, that Ernie Banks and Kyle Schwarber are exactly the same. What are we doing? Why are we saying Kyle Schwarber is a legend? And then I heard somebody say, well, the Cubs getting rid of Schwarber, that's why Theo left. He didn't want to deal with that. He didn't want that move to happen, so he left before it happened. Give me a break. Theo left because he knew it's my time. He said before he even took the job, executives have 10-year shelf lives. He was at year 9. That had nothing to do with it. To insinuate that Kyle Schwarber somehow influenced Theo Epstein's departure, that's the biggest reach I could think of. You're really reaching there. For whatever reason to justify Theo leaving. I never understood that point. You know, I look on Twitter, I see people making tribute videos. We're going to miss you. Get over it. Why are you worshiping some journeyman? Remember who Kyle Schwarber was when the Cubs drafted him? Catcher, pop, could hit. What did he turn into? Horrible defensive outfielder, couldn't catch, couldn't really hit. How is that legend worthy? How does that make him one of the greatest Cubs of all time? This stuff is ridiculous. To insinuate some journeyman is a legend, I mean, I've seen it all. That's why this is 2020, I guess. Kyle Schwarber being on the same level as Fergie Jenkins, Ernie Banks, Andre Dawson, Ron Santo, that is mind-blowing to me. Before you shut me out and turn me off, seriously think. Is Kyle Schwarber at that caliber? Ron Santo, Andre Dawson, Fergie Jenkins, Greg Maddux. Do you really believe, honestly, that Kyle Schwarber deserves to be at that level? Unbiased opinion. Seriously. If you do, look back at his numbers or learn more about Cubs history. I say both. Because if you make that assumption, and you don't know either Cubs history or numbers. The best part is, to me, seeing sabermetric people love Kyle Schwarber. The guy's a 5 WAR. I thought that was your biggest measure of talent. 5 WAR in his career, by the way, not per season. This year was negative. Why did we talk about that? In fact, just to give you some perspective, the highest WAR Schwarber has had in a season is 2.6 in 2019. Really? That's news to me. I actually thought he was better than that. I didn't even know that it was that low. Oh, and by the way, the argument that Schwarber's an improving outfielder, yeah, every year he's had a negative defensive WAR. Every year he's played, except for 2016, it was 0. That's because he got hurt. What are we doing? What are we doing? Kyle Schwarber is a legend. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I saw a tweet the other day from Mike North, good friend of the program. He said, I think I've seen it all. They want to retire Joakim Noah's number. Kyle Schwarber is a legend, and Nick Foles is a great starting quarterback. He's 100% right. What are we doing? Again, I ask you this. Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, Andre Dawson, Greg Maddux, Fergie Jenkins. Does Kyle Schwarber belong in that company? If you say yes, you're being biased. You're being a fanboy. You're not looking at this from an objective perspective. Let's be honest here. Come on. You know Kyle Schwarber is not a Cubs legend. Whether you're a traditional stats guy, whether you love sabermetrics, Schwarber does not add up in both cases. 5 career WAR. Great defender. Negative defensive WAR. Every year he's played. Interesting. Let's talk about batting average. 230 career. 188 this past year. And so what? He hits home runs. Good for him. 121. Great job. Do any of those raw numbers support his legend category? No. Do his sabermetric numbers support him being called a legend? No. So why are we doing it? That's actually an insult. It's an insult to compare Kyle Schwarber to Ernie Banks. How insulting is that? Mr. Cub is being compared to Kyle Schwarber, or Billy Williams to Kyle Schwarber, Ron Santo, Greg Maddux, Fergie Jenkins. They're all at Kyle Schwarber's level? That's an insult to all of them. What do you want to do next? Retire his jersey? Let's do it. Come on, why not? Let's go hanging on the foul pole. Hell, at this point, let him in the Hall of Fame. He's that great of a player, right? Oh, his WAR's off the charts, right? OPS plus off the charts. I have seen it all. I really have. This is the definition of 2020. I've seen it all. Kyle Schwarber is an okay player. What he did in 2016, very commendable. What he's done since then, nothing. And to sit here and actually insinuate he is Ernie Banks, he's on that same level, he is Billy Williams, that is a disgrace. And for those who believe that, I implore you to really look at his numbers and actually compare them to real Cubs legends. Learn the history of the team. You can't throw that term around willy-nilly. By that logic, everyone's a legend for putting on a Cubs uniform. Look at this objectively. He gave me so many memories. Great. Memorable player. Not a legend. There are so many other guys we don't even consider legends who have much better numbers than Kyle Schwarber, Aramis Ramirez, Derek Lee, Soriano even. Hell, they're better than Kyle Schwarber. Why do we call them legends then? Oh, they're not legends. They don't compare to Ernie Banks. They don't compare to real legends. Exactly. So why does Kyle Schwarber do then? Why does he compare to those guys? But Derek Lee, Aramis, Soriano don't. You put yourself in a tough spot if you support this. You know you're wrong. Just admit it. I wish him nothing but the best, Kyle Schwarber. I really do. I think he's an average player. If he was a full-time DH, maybe it'd work. 30 homers a year, hit 200, because 200, I guess, is the new 300. Fine, I'll take it. But to say he's a legend is irresponsible, and it's insulting to the current legends of the Cubs. Learn your history. Learn about the team. Learn about this storied franchise. They're a great team. They're one of the best teams in North American history. Actually learn their history instead of just saying Kyle Schwarber's definitely a legend when you look at his numbers and compare them to real legends. Like I said, by that logic, throw him in the Hall of Fame, retire his number then. See how that goes over. See if that gets anywhere. Guaranteed it won't. Don't evaluate with your heart. Evaluate objectively. Know what Kyle Schwarber really is. He's not a legend. He was an okay player for a little bit amount of time. That's it. Case closed. More to come here on Sports Talk Chicago. My interview with Derek Gould comes up next, so stay tuned. Hey, do you want to make some money this weekend? What if I told you that I could offer you $250 free to bet on any game you want? Here's what you have to do. Go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash, sportstalkchicago.com/cash. You have to be 21 plus. You have to be an Illinois resident. You can bet $250 free on any game you want. Bears game coming up this weekend. College football, college basketball is in full swing too. It's that easy. The money is waiting for you. All you have to do is go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash, sportstalkchicago.com/cash. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.